up, y'all? It's your girl, She's Perfection, and I am here today with my boy Munyan. You can find me at She's Perfection all across the board on all social media platforms, and we are on Get It Off Your Chest podcast.
Yes, yes, y'all. My name is Munya. You can find me on Instagram, Munya Sig across the board. Same on Facebook and TikTok. Yeah, and first episode. How you
First
feeling?
episode. I feel great. I feel great. I'm very excited about the topics.
Yep.
I'm excited about the whole concept of the podcast, about the live callers, the live viewers, the live chats. I'm super excited about that. How do you feel about it?
I feel good about it because I always feel like I got something to get off my chest.
Oh,
I always feel like I got something to get off my chest, you know. But yeah, we're gonna talk about how's this, how the week been going.
okay. How my week been?
Yeah.
Well, this week was a great week for me. It was a great week. You know, I've had a rough last couple months, but this week really flowed effortlessly. Everything that I planned, I executed. And when y'all presented me with this opportunity, I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and squeeze that in. And here I am. So I have no complaints. I have no complaints about this week. It's been great. And as long as you stay positive, then, I mean, what can go wrong, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
How was your week?
My week was amazing. I feel like I'm finally on track, going to the gym, trying to lose the gut. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like everything is good. And yeah, besides the Texas heat.
Oh my God! Oh, we don't want to get on that. That's a whole topic.
That's a
in
whole
itself.
different subject.
Yes, it is.
You know what I
The heat is
mean? But
crazy.
other than that, man, I've been good. But
Yes.
it's something that I wanted to say, right? I was in a store just yesterday. I was in Walmart and I overheard. I was by the register and I overheard women. It was like a group of women.
Okay,
And they
okay.
were talking about. I know somebody was from a date or whatever, and they were saying, "Oh, you know, girl, he don't even got a car. He don't even got this, that, and the third." And it got me thinking, like, you know, something that I want to get off my chest. Yeah.
Get it off your
Why?
chest.
Why? How come it always feel like men always be the ones that got to go extra hard, but women don't? Because it always feel like men, we got to do too much. Yeah, that's what I want to get off my chest, y'all. I
Yeah,
don't know
that's what he want to
else
get off
say.
his chest. So I mean, if I had to, piggyback on what he's saying, why do men have to go so hard to attract women or to get women? I don't know. I mean, I guess it's just the standard of a man. A man having to put in work, the chase, the pursuit. But it also is just about where you want to go and where you want to be. For me, it's like you can just be yourself and don't have to put in no effort, and you can still attract somebody. You can still
Right.
attract somebody that will meet you right where you are. But
Right.
if you want to elevate and get further and attract a certain caliber of women who do prefer those things, then you're gonna have to put in that effort. Or you can just stay where you are, and then you'll attract women right where you are.
Right. Okay. Nah, I understand that.
That's my opinion.
Right, right. I understand that, and I think you're right. But I just feel like it's always like, regardless of what level women the guys are trying to attract, it always feel like it's always extra. Like it's never good enough. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
It's always like when you get to that point where it's like, okay, so you got a car, so you got a good career, and you earn a certain amount of money. It's always gonna be something that need to be, that the man got to. There's always some way you can get
Yeah, man.
to get better.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
you have to get better.
Yeah.
And I feel like in general, people in general should have to always want to grow and
True.
want to get better and want to elevate as just people in general across the board. You know what I mean? But one thing I can say is the right person for you, the right person, your person, the person who's meant for you would be okay with that. Would be okay with what you bring to the table and your goals on making it better, or if they want to be patient with you on how you want to elevate and things like that. In the masses, when you're speaking about general,
Yeah.
and when you're speaking about social media and how the culture is today, you can't get yourself caught up in that stuff.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah,
You can't.
have to have your own perspective and your own little, your own little life and what you want to do outside of that, because honestly, a lot of that stuff is superficial.
I think
So
superficial.
So we have a live chat coming in right now. We have a live message coming in from somebody who's on the live chat. And it looks like their question is, what is the bare minimum? Okay, they're piggybacking off what we're talking about.
Right.
What is the bare minimum?
Right.
So what would you think the bare minimum is for men to have to attract a woman?
I think you definitely got to have a job.
Okay.
You definitely got to have a job. You definitely got to have, like a place, like a home.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You have to have that. And because the job enables you to have your finances in order, because a lot of times when we don't have jobs, our confidence kind of takes a hit because, we're not confident. So if you have a job,
Yeah.
and then you could take it from there. That's prerequisite. You have a job and you have a home. You paying some kind of bills. That's a
Yeah.
good start. And you have your head on your shoulders.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's that's a start. From you have to have that. And now, as you go further up, now it just depends. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like that come before you even start talking to women. You got to have those. I don't know. Am I correct? I could be wrong.
Yeah, I agree. I would say the bare minimum a guy should have, and this varies from woman to woman, different people.
Right.
But if we just speaking generally, bare minimum, definitely some source of income. Obviously, you need to have some source of transportation, obviously, and you need to have some sort of a living situation.
Yeah.
You should definitely have a roof over your head, your own. You definitely should have your own. And I think those are the main 3 bare minimum things that you can have.
Yeah,
that you should have.
You should have, because
As
I
an
feel
adult.
like I don't mean to cut you off. I feel like because if you have those things, the basics are gonna come off of that. If you have a job, you have to be consistent. You have to be consistently going to the job. If you have a roof over your head, that means you can pay bills. So you can be in charge of something, and then everything else start from there, and then you can build on that. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like you have to have those things.
Yeah.
I understand that, and my thing is, it's okay to have personal, I want to say demands, for lack of a better term, for what you need, what you require, as long as you are worthy of that.
Yes,
That's what I'm trying to
I
say.
agree.
I'm not trying to say go for anything, but I'm saying, you have to, you meet me halfway. Either way, right?
Okay.
Right.
So our live chatter, he didn't give us his name, but he says that he's 33 and he lived with his mom.
Right.
But he desperately wants a girlfriend. So what should he do? What kind of advice could you
Man,
give him
I'm
as
gonna
a
let you
man?
start.
No, as a
man.
man, because I don't want to be too hard on him. So let you go ahead and give him some advice as being a 33-year-old living with his mom, but he wants a girlfriend.
Man, I wish I knew. Do we have a name for where do he live? I
Right.
wish we had a name for this dude, man. Because first of all, I don't even know where to start. You shouldn't be living with your mama at 33.
Okay, it
Yeah,
looks like his
that's-
name is Mark. His name is Mark, and he live in Philadelphia. He's in Philly. Shout out to Philly.
Shout outs to my people in Philly. I'm gonna look in the camera, Mark. Man, look, get a job. You don't be living with your mama. That's not a good start. First of all, why are you living with your mama at 33? What happened?
Ooh.
I'm
What
gonna leave it
happened?
there. Yeah, what happened? At
What
30?
happened? At 33.
With your mama?
Is it a
Come on,
situation
Doc.
where you kind of moved out on your own and it got a little hard because times it's hard. People are needing, it's kind of hard to pay the bills on your own.
Yeah.
Job wasn't good enough. Or have you always lived with your mom and never left the nest? If you never left the nest, then that may be a problem.
That may be a problem, and I don't want to be too harsh on him, right? Because
Yeah.
we don't have the full information of what
Yeah.
it is. But at 33, you shouldn't be living with your
You
mama,
shouldn't
man.
be living. And you heard it from a man. You heard it from a man. I didn't have to be the one to say that. He went ahead and kept it a buck on that one.
Yeah, but yeah,
So hopefully that gives you some insight, Mark. Good luck with that. I hope it all works out.
yeah. And hopefully you give us a call.
Yeah,
One of
give
this
us
on
a
the next
call.
show. Give us a call so we can dig deeper into your situation. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we
Thank
can
you
help
for
each other.
chiming in, Mark. We appreciate you. Okay, so
Yes,
what
sir.
we're gonna do is let's go ahead and get on to the next topic, Manyan.
Okay.
What would be our next topic? What you think we should talk about next?
The next topic should be what does it mean when a man does not change his ways for a woman?
Ooh,
What does it mean?
what does it mean?
What does it mean to y'all, first of all?
Well, from a woman perspective,
Yeah.
I would plain and simple put it like this. What does it mean if a man does not want to change his ways for you? That simply means that you are not the woman. You are not
Right.
the one. You are not the one that he sees himself with long term.
Right.
You are not the one that he wants to marry and have a family with. You're probably not even the one he wants to even bring up to meet his mom and his dad.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if a guy is not putting in any effort to change his bad ways or bad habits or things that bother you and doesn't make you feel secure and safe, then you're not the one. Point blank. Period.
Man, I agree. Because I feel like if you really down for somebody, I mean, at least you're gonna try to compromise.
Absolutely.
You're gonna have some kind of, compromise to the situation. I mean, it depends when we say, what are we talking about as far as change, what that mean in reality, but you're gonna try and have some type of compromise, some type of conversation about working the situation out. But if you just like, I'm not gonna change,
Yeah.
and you're not gonna change, I feel like he don't really rock with you like that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's like key right there. Like that's key. That's all. That's it. That's all. He ain't rocking with you like that. And I like the way you said that because that's real plain and simple. Like he ain't rocking with you like that. So, it really ain't much you can do.
Yeah, it's not much
It ain't
you
much
can
you
do.
can do. You can beat your feet. Go find somebody who, find somebody who's better. Somebody who's willing to meet you halfway.
Yeah.
Who's willing to compromise and say, hey, I'm willing to do X, Y, Z if you're willing to do Z, Y, X.
Yeah, and I feel like we all got some friends who like, oh man, he not gonna change, but I'm gonna stick with it. And it's like, no,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you're right.
Okay, I see we have another live question. It says, do our answers only apply for women? Do our answers apply for women too? So yes, I think so too.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so too. So if a woman, I can say for sure that applies for women because if a woman is not willing to change her bad ways for you, you are not the man, baby, because women are the most, are the top compromising creatures. Women will give the last and give.
Well, I got this. I gotta ask you this. How do you feel like? I'm sure every dude out there, you meet a woman and then you get together and then when you try and have a conversation about some of the things you feel like she should change, and she go like, well, when you met me, I was like this. Now you
Ooh.
trying to change me.
Ooh.
How you trying to, when you met me, you fell in love with how I was, now you trying to change me.
Ooh.
How you feel about that?
I feel like then, it's just the love ain't there. The love, the effort is not there.
Right.
It's not there. Something is lacking. You're not worth that. You particularly are not worth her changing those things.
Right.
You're not worth that because I've seen women who said they never wanted to have kids and got with another man and had those kids
Immediately.
So you're just not the one. You know what I mean? You're just not the one.
Yeah.
And that's pretty simple. It ain't even really no point of even, continuing to trying to fight for it or stick it out, thug it out, trying to change. But you're just not the one, because people can change. They will change for the right person. I promise you.
Yeah.
I promise you people will change for the right person. Okay. So the next question our live chat person sent in is, can people actually change?
Man, this is how I feel about that. Some people can. Some people can. I think everyone is capable of change. But do you want to change?
Yeah, you have to be willing to.
You have to be willing to
I think
change.
everybody, I think people.
That's a good question, actually. But
It is. Can people change? And I'm just going to relate this to myself personally.
that was a long pause, so.
Because, I change and I change back and I change and I change back depending on the circumstances. But I can't really honestly say people can change. But what I can honestly say is people can grow. People do grow.
Yeah.
People do grow, and people do learn. You know,
Yeah.
people do learn from those mistakes. Changing, I'm not sure. You know, I can't be too sure on change because I've struggled with changing a lot of things, but I have grown
Yeah.
out of a lot of things. And if you consider that as changing, then so be it. But
I guess it kind of come down to when people say change, what do you mean? Is it adapting to situations or is it
Yeah.
really totally changing? Because
Right.
at the end of the day, if you're not changing, you're dying. At
Yeah,
the end of the
yeah,
day. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah.
You have to adapt to,
Yeah.
to different situations. So it really kind of depends with the situation. But I feel like you have to change, but it depends what type of change. Because I feel like sometimes, and I want to say this too. I think people change, but people change at different rates. As in, some people change are quick to change, but some people it really got to be a situation that is near like it could be like death, near enough. Like man, it took me to stop doing this. It took me
Yes.
losing this,
Oh,
or
Lord.
I was in the hospital. Doctor told me if I don't stop doing this, I'm gonna die in the
Yeah.
next something like that. So yeah,
I agree. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. So hopefully that answered that question. So we're gonna do one more question from the live chat. This is the last one we're gonna do, guys. If you are not sure that people can change, how do you expect a man to change for a woman?
Whew.
Okay. So is that okay? So that goes back to it because that sounds like a personal question for me. That sounds real personal. So let me
Let's talk
break that
about
down. Yeah, let me get this. Let me get this one
Hey,
out.
get it off your chest.
So
Get it off your chest.
now for me, it's like it ain't about changing because when you say change, that's just changing who you are, your environment, what you know, how you was raised. You know what I mean? So
Right.
certain things I understand you can't not change. So certain things can't be changed. I get
Right.
that. But you're supposed to grow. And
Yeah.
not only you're supposed to grow, you're supposed to learn. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? You're supposed to learn from things that you so-called should be changing. You know
Right.
what I mean? So even if you don't change it, you should be learning it and you should want to grow from it. You know what I
Right.
mean? So and I can't really I can give an example, but that'll be too personal. But I feel like if you don't want to change who you are, because when people say change, it's like I ain't changing who I am. I'm from this. I'm from there, and I'm like this, and this how I've been all my life. So I ain't finna change for you. But that ain't the case. It ain't about that. It's about you still being who you are, and feeling comfortable with who you are, but also growing and elevating and being who you are. You know what I mean? Some of the things I did at 21 and 28 and 25, I'm not doing today.
You're not doing them no more.
I'm not doing it today. And that don't mean I changed because I haven't, but I've grown and I've learned. You know what I mean? So it's like, you can, you can't. Yeah, but I feel like people feel like change is changing who you are. So,
Yeah.
but you
Can
can
I-
definitely grow from your ways, and you can definitely learn from your mistakes.
That's why I always say, man, you got to get in where you can fit in.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll leave it at
That
that.
makes sense. That makes sense. So we're going to go to the next topic. I hope
Right.
that answered it, and I hope that gave y'all what y'all was looking for. And don't be sending no chats, taking no shots at me, okay? Okay? Because I'm just keeping it real. I'm just getting it off my chest. So don't come for me in the live chat now. Okay? So we're going to go to the next topic. Okay, so this is a good one. How do you get a man? We're gonna put that on there. How do you get a man to be emotionally attached to a woman? To you, how do you get a man emotionally attached? What are some gems you can drop for the women on how to get that man emotionally attached to her?
Man, I say the biggest one for me off the gate, you got to have respect for that man.
Ooh.
You rock with the man, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you say you went for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have to have respect for him, and that's the number one. And I think that's the bottom line. You have respect for him, and I'm not saying that when he say jump, you say hi.
Right.
Yeah, but you have respect for the guy. If you are respectful, I think everything else follows from that. I really don't even got too much to say on that. Just respect the guy.
Where there is respect, there is love, and where there is respect, there is loyalty. So it all kind of go hand in hand. It all goes. I know a lot of men who prefer respect over love.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
so
I do.
respect me.
I
Because
do.
I mean, if you respect a man, everything else is gonna follow.
Yeah,
The
respect
loyalty,
me.
you know, respect is a big deal. That is a
Yeah.
big thing. That is a big thing.
Cause then how you feel like coming from it? How you feel about women? Women be like, well, they'll be like, respect me. I'm like, oh, you don't deserve respect, but we're together.
Then you shouldn't be dealing with nobody like that.
Yeah,
And I know a lot of my answers just be like, just go, just give up, just go, just go.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't be dealing with nobody where you have to, where somebody would talk to you like that. Because I've told the last person I was dealing with, I told him,
yeah,
I said, if I have to get to a point where I call you out your name, and I have to get to a point where I disrespect you, at that point I'm gonna leave. And I'm
Right.
gonna stop talking. I'm gonna stop
Right.
talking. If I have to disrespect you, I'm done.
Right.
And I have to be done because once I disrespect you, that's it's just kind of a loss of everything. You know what I mean? So once I no longer respect you, I'm probably not gonna gain that respect back. You know what I mean? Once you certain lines, once you cross them, it's just no going back. You know. So I tried these days where I've learned and grown to watch what I say to men and not to disrespect certain men.
Yeah.
No man in that manner.
Right.
Because once you cross that line of disrespect to a man, there is no point in you still being with that man. The moment you have to call him out his name or degrade him, you might as well just walk.
I
Because
agree.
You ain't gonna be able to fix that.
I agree,
You ain't gonna be able to
ladies.
fix it.
There it is.
Yeah.
You just gotta respect. I think that's that. On God, that's what it is. If you respect somebody, like I take respect over love. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Because
yeah.
if you respect me, and of course that's not saying that I'm not gonna respect you back as a man. But
Mm-hmm.
if we respect each other, I feel like everything can work right. You know what I'm saying? Kind
Mm-hmm.
of. I say it like this: at the job, you might not like your boss,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
But you respect him
Mm-hmm.
because if you do something that is bent out of shape, you finna be out of there, right? So you carry, and I feel like a lot of and I know y'all gonna get on me in the comments, but I feel like a lot of women respect their boss more than they respect their man. But
Clock it. Clock it. We got a live chat. Oh, the live chat is really doing. The live chat is doing their thing today. We
What
must
we
get
got?
into y'all. We must
What
get
we
to
got,
y'all.
Wanda? What we got?
Okay,
What we
let's
got?
see. Let's see what this guy said. Okay, he says, "Go ahead and read it. You go ahead and read it."
Okay, I'm trying to read it. He said, I met a girl last night at the bar, and we had sex. Should I take her serious? Is she girlfriend material?
Well, baby, we don't know. We don't know that. You just had sex. We don't know if she girlfriend material. I mean, whatever you feel. Whatever you feel
Right.
you should do. We don't know if she girlfriend material. All you just told us is, do you want to know if she girlfriend material off having sex with you on the same night you met her?
Yes.
If that's the question, then, hey, that's up to you. To each his own on that
To
one.
each his own.
To each his own on that one.
That's exactly how I feel. Because for me, I try and go off of it's like, what do you want?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
like that what happened. It's like you can't. We don't know. And I feel it's one of them. Listen. On the next episode, call in.
Yeah,
Call in so we
can
can
talk to y'all.
digest and then we can see what's going on with
Yeah,
it.
so we
'Cause-
can type back, write back.
all of
yeah.
that. Because we don't want to say she not
Yeah.
because that
No,
just depends with
right.
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
and then not only that, I've met plenty of guys who said that they ended up marrying the girl they met and slept with on the first night. So you know,
Yeah.
you just never know. That's up to you.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
that's the you thing. If you like her, then pursue it. You know.
Yeah.
If not, then hey, leave it alone and move on to the next one and have sex with. I guess if that's what you choose
Hey,
to
you
do.
got to find out, and I would
Yeah.
want to know how old dude is. So
He
what
might
I'm
be
saying?
young. Yep.
So
yep. Okay. Well, what I want to know, my young, is speaking since the guy did just say that, and we ain't got much advice to him on that because that's something he got to deal with on his own. But
Right.
would you take a girl serious that you slept with on the first night? You just met her at a bar or wherever, and y'all already slept together. Would you take her serious, or would you want to be with her?
yeah. I'm gonna keep it real. It just really depends, right?
Period. Okay.
No, hey,
He said, yeah.
I'm not gonna
Why
sit
not?
here and be hypocritical or whatever. You know, I'm gonna get it off my chest.
Yeah, get it off your chest, for
it
sure.
really depends. You know what I'm saying?
sure.
I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm grown.
For
you know what I'm
sure,
saying?
for
And
sure.
if I'm dealing with somebody and and it leads to that, don't always gotta lead to that. But if it happens and we had sex and then after that we hook up again
Yeah.
and then we kind of go on a date and then we have sex again or we don't or whatever
Right,
it is.
right.
If it's cool and we feeling each other or whatever, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go with the feel. You know know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
I'm not gonna rule it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say, oh, well, because we had sex on the first night, then you must be this or whatever. No,
Yeah.
I ain't.
To each his own.
To each his own.
To each
That's
his
how I
own.
feel about
To
that.
each his own. And they asked me that because I want to chime in on that.
Go
Just on
ahead.
personal experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah, ain't doing it. And I know that if y'all see this, y'all can vouch. I ain't giving up on the first night. I don't know why I don't want to. That's
Wait.
just something that I don't want to do.
Well, you said if y'all can say, y'all can vouch for that. That's
Right. You got a couple. You got
Y'all-
a few motherfuckers that can vouch for that. She ain't giving up on the baby. Ain't no first nights over here. And I guarantee. And this is just me. If I'm giving up on the first night, I'm never gonna talk to you. This is it. Like I'm not gonna talk to you again. I'm done with you. You'll never hear from me. If and that's just me. If I get up on the first night, I'm gonna regret it. I'm kind of gonna feel bad about it, So yeah, probably not gonna talk to him. I'm gonna block him. That's just me. That's just because I know what I want. I know what I'm looking for. So if I'm coming to you and I'm giving up on the first night, 9 out of 10 times, that's just what I wanted, and I'm gone.
yeah, because that was about to be my next question. Would you look at a dude and be like, okay, I'm gonna give it up on the first night, but I'm probably not gonna talk to him again after, and then just be like, okay, so that's what's
never.
gonna happen with the intention of that.
That's just and that's just me personally. You know what I mean?
Right,
I got plenty of motherfuckers that can vouch, not plenty, because we ain't
Right.
gonna say it like that. But
Right.
I got some folks that can vouch like, no, I ain't getting, ain't no getting on the first night. At least maybe the third, maybe the fourth, second, who knows? But,
Second, who knows?
It's just
right?
like if I upped it on the first night, then I guarantee you they didn't hear from me the next day,
Right.
or the next month, or the next week. Eventually you gotta go.
Right.
Cause I didn't regretted my mistakes.
How y'all feel about that?
How y'all feel about
How
it?
y'all feel about that?
How y'all
Put it
feel
in the
about
chat.
it? Put it
You
in
know
the
what I'm saying?
chat. Put it in the chat. A lot of
That's
people
it.
don't make a
That's
big
the
deal out
topic.
of it. A lot of people don't care.
Yeah.
We grown. But it's just to each his own. If you want to get up on the first night, go ahead. If you don't, then
Yeah.
don't. Particularly, me, that ain't my thing. That's just not my thing.
That ain't how you roll,
that's just
right?
that's just not my thing. Because
Okay.
sex is just not what it's about.
Right.
But if it does lead to that, motherfuckers got too drunk or something like that, then 9 out of 10 times, you will not hear from me again.
Okay.
And clock that. Okay?
It's what it say? It
What
say
if, that question's for me.
yes, it's
That question for me. What if he was a good man?
oh.
I would
that's
never
the-
know if he was a good man or not. Because he slept with me on the first night.
Right.
So I would never know if he was a good man or not.
Right.
I would never know. And I would never know if he was a good man. And quite frankly, if he slept with me on the first night, I would never know.
Man,
I can't even tell if you're a good man or not. You slept with me on the first night, so how good could you be?
Hey, man, I love
How good could you be? Shit, you slept with me on the first night. I'm sure that's what you do. That's what you enjoy doing. So no,
He might not be like that. He
might
just,
not.
He might
He might not. But like I said, I'm speaking
you're
off-
not hearing from her again.
Right.
If you get out like that.
I'm just speaking from my personal, just me.
No,
personally.
it
A lot
makes
of women
sense.
not like that. A lot of women not like that. But if you know me, if anybody out there, if y'all listening or y'all see this, and y'all know and y'all can vouch for this, I guarantee you, ain't nobody out there got it on the first night and still can hit my line. Let me know.
And,
Let me know.
I was
Please
gonna
let me
say,
know.
That's what I like about this podcast. Get it
Yeah.
off your chest, because I feel like a lot of platforms when they talk, it's just like, because we're human beings, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we have different ways of doing things, and it's not to say one way is better than the other. You know what I'm saying? You just got to go with how you feel. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? You just really got to go with how you feel with every situation, because you could meet somebody and they religious, and then
Yes.
they have their own ways of doing things, how they was raised. They could be from a different country, different culture. You know what I'm saying? They do things different. So if you walking into that situation with your prerequisites, it might not work. You know what I'm saying? So it just really depends. So that's why I like having conversations like these. 'Cause
Absolutely.
it's not one way to do things.
It's not. It never is. It never is. And you can't categorize everybody in one little bucket. So, what we have here, okay, this is going to be our last question from the live chat, okay?
Right.
So our last question from the live chat is, how did y'all feel about Kevin Samuel's advice? Oh, well,
Let's
that's
start
for
with
you. That's for him.
I have my opinion.
Yeah,
I have but my opinion is I liked him. I didn't necessarily agree with everything he said. I think he wasn't all the way right. You know what I'm saying? There were some good things.
He wasn't always right. If you
He
got to
was-
start off with that,
And I gotta be careful because R.I.P. the dude.
Look,
You
he
know,
wasn't all the way right.
He wasn't all the way right
There
because
you
I
go.
don't feel like there's anybody who all the way right. I feel like you know what I'm saying. I feel.
It's all right. Take your time, brother. Take your time, brother. Take your time.
We got the chat going, so
Take
we
your
reading
time.
that at the same time. She say, "Take your time." You know what that means, right?
That was his dog. Go ahead, boy. Y'all keep it real.
Hey man, hey look, I'm just trying to say he wasn't all the way right, but I just think that sometimes he was saying he had a lot of good points, but he wasn't a delivery, right? It was like how he delivered.
He was blunt.
Yeah, he was blunt,
so
and
blunt.
sometimes you know what I'm saying. You got to put a little sugar in the message so it could be
Yeah,
edible. But
exactly.
he was kind of off the gate
Yeah.
like that, so
Yeah.
a lot of people didn't take it.
Yeah.
Well, but he has some good points and he has some bad points. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I just took him how I take any advice that I see. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Like, you take the meat and you leave the bones. That's what I think about him. You know, I'm not huge fan. I just think he has some good points. He has some bad points.
Yeah, I can't even really speak too much on it because I never even sat down and watched anything that he said.
Why?
Okay?
Why is that?
Because that's just not my thing, you know.
Right.
But one thing I can say is the little clips here and there that I did see, I respect the fact that he was blunt. I respect the bluntness. I don't give a damn about what he's talking about, what he's saying, what advice he's giving. Could be wrong, could be right. Quite frankly, it don't apply to me.
Right.
There's somebody I never talk to. There's somebody I never take advice from.
Right.
However, I do respect his bluntness and his ain't got to sugarcoat it. I respect that he spoke what was on his mind, regardless of who hated him and who not. And that's the only thing I respect. And that's the only thing I can say because I don't know much about him. And he just wasn't my kind of person.
Man,
I would have never ever had a desire to even.
I can't fault you on that because I just feel like it's different ways of bringing a message. It's like if you go to a community type of environment to get some information, you're gonna get information kind of delivered in a less sensitive way. But if you go to the military, for example, it's blunt, it's to your face. So he had, and I think the majority of his fans are people that like messages being delivered in that way. Blunt, like whatever, you know what I'm saying? And the people that don't like him is just like in a delivery, like you say. And is that to say they wrong? Like
Right.
I can't fault you for not really rocking with him. You know what I'm
I
saying?
respected his delivery. I respected his delivery. And then the little clips I would see here and there, it just never piqued my interest. Anything that he said, nothing that he talked about ever piqued, even when he was talking about the women.
Right.
And telling the women, well, who you think you are? Or even when he was talking about the men. Hold on, brother, you ain't got this, brother. How you supposed? It just
that's
never.
how we
piqued,
started, I
it
think.
just never piqued my interest.
Right.
Those are not conversations and topics that I want to take advice from. I'm not going to take advice from those type of people because I mean, I got my own mind and
I could dig it.
pretty goddamn it's pretty set on what it is. So
I could dig it.
that wasn't my thing. So we're gonna go to our last words. These are our last final words. We're gonna start wrapping it up. We're gonna wrap it up. But before we do that, I know y'all see what's in the background, okay? Okay, we're going to introduce Munyon's book that he have out, okay? And we want y'all to go and support this black man, okay? Support him. And his book is called Shadow Outlines, okay? Let the people know where they can get your book and how can they get a copy of that, Munyon?
Okay, thank you. First of all, thank y'all for the support so far. I've been getting a lot of people purchasing the book. Y'all can get it on Amazon. It's available on Amazon. But if you want a signed copy, just hit me on my social media at Munyasig, and I'm a sign it, personalize it, whatever, and I'm gonna give you that thing. But I appreciate y'all for the support.
Yeah, support. Can you give us a little bit, just in 5 seconds, sum up of what the book is about? Can you just kind of give us a little idea of what we're gonna be reading when we get that book?
Okay, so it's a fictional novel. It's about a secret society. You know what I'm saying? It's about a secret society. So I think what a lot of people based on the reviews that I have read, it touches on lust, jealousy, envy, deceit within those stories. So it's about a secret society who think they losing their hold on the people, and that's what it is. I'm not gonna give y'all too much, but that's what it is. It touches on real stuff though.
Okay.
Even though it's a fictional novel, it touches on real stuff.
Yes, y'all go and support Munyon. That sounds like something that I'll be into. So I definitely want to get some more information on that off camera. What you want to add to that?
No, I want to talk about your stuff.
Well,
Miss Lady over here. Let's talk about. You see the candles?
Y'all see
we
it.
didn't get them from Walmart or whatever. This
No Bath and
Let's
Body
talk about
Works.
it. And they
These are-
smell good too.
Yes, these are all handmade, all natural, organic candles. Okay, luxury candles. So it ain't many people that deserve to burn these. Okay, no, seriously. It's like a membership. Got to get a membership to get it. You
I
know,
like
it's like
that.
a secret society
I
type
like
deal.
that.
You
I
know,
like
you
that.
gotta
I
be
like
you
that.
gotta be members only to access it. But yes, everything is all natural, all organic, handmade with love. And we got different we got a man version, we got a women version, we got a bunch of things on the website, and y'all can go and check it out. Perfectly Scented Candle Company. The website is perfect dash the dash ioncollection.com, and y'all can go ahead and go explore and check it out and look and see if you want to be a part of our secret society. So and then not only that, this is part of the collection as well. A little lip gloss. My young, what you think? Hold on, let me put a little dab.
I see it. Okay. I see it.
So everything is handmade by me. Everything is handmade by me.
I like the
So,
little casing on it.
Yes,
too.
yes,
That's dope.
it's for the divas. So yeah, so I make everything. Everything is handmade with love. Okay, with love and intention. So definitely y'all go and support your Black entrepreneurs, of course.
Right. I mean,
So I think that's our time,
that's
right?
it. That's the first one, man. How
That is
you
our
feel?
first one. I feel great. Let's do
knocked
it.
it
Let's
out
do
the
it.
park.
Okay, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you for everybody who joins in the live chat. The next one, hopefully we get us some live callers. That way we can interact and get this thing going how it's supposed to be.
Most
so
definitely.
until then, guys, peace and
Peace out.
love. Thank y'all.